where you wanna be.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our very first episode of Cawfee Tawk. I am so excited. I've been waiting for weeks to... Can I start again?
Full start.
And you know what the problem of no one in charge?
So what?
We're not going to get anything done.
Clip that. Clip it.
Does clip it mean cut, or does clip it mean for social media?
I don't know, and I don't care. Clip it. We're clipping it.
Guys, you can't see, but he's 6 inches from... Also, he's under the bookshelf and he keeps hitting his head on the bookshelf. It's a little distracting, but all right, we have to start.
Yeah.
Okay.
Clip it.
Okay.
Well, we're getting sponsored.
What's your show about? Nothing. We never started. It's an hour episode of me trying to start this stupid show.
3, 2, 1.
Shall we talk or can't you see? This is where you wanna be.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to our very first episode of Cawfee Tawk. If you're if you're listening to this and you're like, is Robyn crying? No, this is our 50th start and I have the giggles. I am so excited. If you're new, hi, my name is Robyn Schall. I have wanted to do this show now for so long, so I'm so excited that we're finally here doing it. And I feel like I need to tell you the road, how we got here, and why this is so exciting for me. I mean, it should be exciting for you guys too, but I want to catch everyone up so we're all on the same page because today, I'm just really, really happy about recording this, and I think this is going to be a really, really fun show. So, backing up, I was born in 1984 to two beautiful mathematicians, Mama Schall and Papa Schall. At the age of 6, I was actually diagnosed with a bone disease called Perthes. It's a bone disease where your hip deteriorates till there's nothing left. And I had to wear leg braces like Forrest Gump for 3 years. I was immobile from the waist down at the age of 9 for a year. I was in and out of hospitals. I mean, it was a lot. And it was during this time that funny people, sitcoms, comedy was my medicine. It was the thing that got me through, and I knew at that age that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like those funny people on TV keeping me company. I have this very, very, very detailed memory. Well, there was this one point, it was after one of the surgeries, and I couldn't walk, and my parents had turned our den in our house into a hospital room pretty much. They got a hospital bed and they converted that whole den to a room. And I wasn't going to school at the time, and so I was allowed to just stay up and watch sitcoms all night. And they had Nick at Night where there would be all these old shows, and I was watching a marathon of Taxi. And I remember they were laughing, and I remember just thinking I wanted to be like them on that show. And I wanted to be the people keeping people company at night who couldn't sleep because they were either in pain or they were struggling or whatever it was. And so it was not shocking that I went to college and majored in acting because that is what I was determined to do. And then in college, in between sophomore and junior year, I lost a lot of weight. I lost 85 pounds. And that's a whole other episode we can tackle because I was going to the classes and they were just too difficult for me. So I became a group fitness instructor so that I could teach classes that were at my level. And then from there, I became a certified personal trainer. And so after I lost the weight, I then, and graduated college, I was a full-time personal trainer while pursuing acting. But making it as an actress is so hard that what was happening was I was just pretty much personal training full-time and not acting. And I remember it was early 2010. I called my dad, hysterically crying. My dad doubles as my accountant. And I was like, Dad, I'm not even acting. I'm not going on auditions. I'm personal training all the time. This is not the life I'm supposed to be leading. And he goes, Robyn, I saw in the newspaper there's a stand-up comedy class at Caroline's on Broadway in Times Square. Why don't you take that? I feel like if you started doing stand-up comedy, that would be the key to your success. And I was like, are you an idiot? Like, no one makes it as a stand-up comedian. That's such a hard form of performing. Plus, I'm an actress. You know, I studied the Greeks and Shakespeare. I'm supposed to be doing sitcoms and movies. And he was like, Robyn, I'll pay for the class if you just take it. I really think if you could be yourself and be funny and make your own way, you will succeed. So I agreed. I took the class. It started in February of 2010. And I remember you had to show up to the first day of class with a 2-minute bit. And I had this whole thing planned. And then on my way there, my boyfriend at the time, who I call Hercules, texted me. And he was like, hey, Robyn, when you get home tonight, let's role play. You should dress up as a cafeteria lady, wear a hairnet, orthotic shoes, and I'll eat cold cuts off your breasts. And I remember thinking this text was so funny that when I got to the class, very first day, I was like, instead of doing my 2-minute bit that I had planned, I got up and I said, hey, guys, on the subway coming here, my boyfriend texted me this text, and I read it. And I said, orthotic shoes and eat cold cuts off your breasts. And I look up and I said, is that not crazy? Where do you get orthotic shoes from? And then the whole class started laughing. The teacher was like, that timing. And she was praising me. And it was in that moment I was like, aha. This is what I'm supposed to do. And so I finished the class, did the graduation at Caroline's. They let you perform there. And then a few weeks later, I performed. They did a bringer. A bringer is like if you bring 10 people, you get to perform 5 minutes. And I remember my brother, security, was in the audience that night. And I did my set. And even though stand-up is hard, it takes years to get good. But I had the it to do stand-up. And I got off stage and my brother looked at me and he goes, we'll talk, because he knew with his ability of managing and my comedy chops, we would be able to make something off of this. And we've worked together ever since. And over the next 10 years, I would hustle as a comic. And actually after 6 months, I started making a living in stand-up. And within 2 years, it was my full-time job, especially because I was a relatively clean female comedian. Temples loved me. I'd book every temple on the East Coast, bachelorette parties, bridal parties, baby showers. I did tours for the troops overseas. I was making a living, and after the 2-year mark, I stopped personal training. It was my full-time job. But I was struggling. I was a struggling comedian, but I was a comedian. I had this little tiny studio apartment in Manhattan, and I was living my best life being a struggling comedian. And then I actually got a little bit bigger of a studio. And then I was set to do my 4th tour overseas for the troops. I was going to the Middle East. And it was 2020. It was February. And I get a call. I was supposed to go for the last 2 weeks in March. And I got a call. And they said, hey, that COVID-19 is really starting to spread around Europe and the Middle East. So we're going to have to cancel your tour. And I was livid. I said, that's 2 weeks of pay. What am I supposed to do? And they're like, sorry. And I remember being so upset because I was like, what am I going to do for 2 weeks? And I said, okay, you know what? I have to make money. I will 5 days a week go on YouTube and do a live talk show at 11 a.m. called Cawfee Tawk with Robyn Schall. Now, little did I know, the day I started that talk show on YouTube, the world was going to shut down. It was March 15th and all of New York shut down, the world shut down, and everyone was home. So when I say everyone, I had about 9 people watching my live stream, but it was live. So I had 9 people watching live, and what was supposed to be 2 weeks turned into 8 months of 5 days a week at 11 a.m. going live and doing this talk show. And if you ask me, what is some of my favorite entertainment that I've ever put out there, it was this, because first off, there was no one in charge. I'm alone in my studio apartment, and it would be me and you guys, or the 10 to 20 people that would watch every day, and the chat would be going, and I would do my opening monologue, and every day was different, right? So some days there would be science experiments, another day would be cooking shows, another day I'd do an interview, I'd FaceTime one of my comic friends and interview them. Every episode was different, and even 2 grandmas dying. I did not miss a day. And I didn't miss a day for two reasons. One, I knew there was people at home that were looking forward to watching it. And also it was my reason to get up in the morning. It was my reason of having some light and some happiness in a very, very dark time. I loved doing this show. And I loved it because it was my show. I repeat, there was no one in charge. I could do whatever I wanted. And then November of 2020, I posted this video on TikTok of my goals list. It went super viral. I mean, super, super viral. If you were following me at the time, you know, within the first week of posting it, it was shown on The View and The Talk, and Jennifer Gardner posted it, and Oprah posted it, and Katie Couric posted it. And I just blew up what looked like overnight success, but it wasn't. It was 10 years in the making. But my entire career changed. And something about Cawfee Tawk, which I don't know a lot of people know, but because it was a live chat, my mom would watch every day live, and she would write down everyone who was in the chat, and then she'd call at the end of the episode and do shout outs to everyone who was there. And again, it was like 10 to 20 people, so it would be like a minute call at the end of the show. And I remember it was like a couple of days after going viral, and I took 2 days off of doing the show because there was such chaos around going viral. And I remember I'd come back to do my show, and there was like 1,000 people watching live. And it was at the very end, I called my mom so that she could do her shout outs. And she was like, Robyn, I was trying to write down everyone's name, but there's just too many people. And I was like, it's okay, Mom, just read what you got. And I was thinking she wrote down like 20 names, 30 names. She wrote close to 300 names, and she starts reading it, and it keeps going and going and going. And I just started crying because it was at that moment I realized, like, oh, my career, all that hard work, all of those years, starting at 6 years old, was finally happening. And it was such a moment for me. And I stopped doing that show because things just got too crazy and too overwhelming and big, and I started really focusing on social media, and I went focused on my tour, and I really, really, really missed that long format of a talk show, of doing this. And I did Call Waiting with Betches, which was a podcast where you guys called in, and although that was really fun in its own way, it was too organized for me, you know, like I sat there, there'd be 5 calls, and they edited it, and then they posted it, and that was it. And I had no freedom for it to get chaotic. And not that I want things chaotic. I don't go out of my way for things to be chaotic. I just like the freedom to be Robyn, and if things get chaotic, great. Like, that's fine, you know? And so I ended up stopping that once I got the job at the Kelly Clarkson show. And I kept saying, when the time is right, I'm going to do a new podcast, a new talk show. It'll be a little bit closer to Cawfee Tawk, where there's no one in charge, and where I could just be Robyn and hang out with you guys. And the thing I'm most excited about is you guys don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. Some episodes are going to be cooking. Some episodes there's going to be science experiments. Other episodes will have guests, whether it's my friends or celebrities or people who just like have cool jobs and knowledge. It's just going to be me and you guys hanging out, and I can't think of anything else I would rather do. So thank you guys so much for being here for this very first episode of Schall We Talk. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. Today, we are going to be making pizza cupcakes. And you're like, oh my God, I'm so excited to learn how to make pizza cupcakes. No. I didn't say you were going to learn how to make pizza cupcakes. I said we were going to make pizza cupcakes. I watched a TikTok. That's usually where I get my knowledge. I watched a TikTok. I think we could do this. I remember once making pizza cupcakes, I think. Maybe it wasn't pizza cupcakes. I could be making this up. But anyway, I'm really excited. So we're going to go to the kitchen. Now, on the website, shallwetalk.com, there is a section for you to write in if you need advice or, help on a situation. I am not licensed to help a soul, okay? I have no credentials to be giving any sort of life help or life advice, love guidance. Nope. With that said, I do pride myself that I'm a pretty good girlfriend. And when I say girlfriend, like to my friends, and that I can give decent advice. Should you take it? Probably. I don't know. That's up to you. But I did open it up. We got a lot of people asking advice. So while we hit the kitchen, I'm going to give my best solid advice to those of you who wrote in. If you need advice, go to schallwetalk.com. There's a section. Also, I'm always going to have different topics up for you to write in. Last night, I went on my Insta stories and I said, hey guys, if you have a bad date story, write in. So we will read some of those at the end of the show. But first, let's go to the kitchen and make some pizza. Oh, wait. First, let's say hi to our producer, Security.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I think my microphone's on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, my microphone is on. Don't worry.
During Cawfee Talk, and call waiting, you always gave news stories.
Yes.
But we're bumping that segment.
Yes. That's the only way I could actually be a part of this show is by not giving the news.
No, but I just want you to know there's a handful of messages I'm going to get right now of people defending you. I liked his news stories because I remember during call waiting, not during Cawfee Talk with Robyn Schall. Across the board, everyone hated your news stories.
I was a mediocre.
The mediocre news anchor. I forgot about that. But during call waiting, I would sometimes shit on your news stories, and there would be people that would message me like, Robyn, I really like Security's news stories.
But remember, then you guys took away the news stories, and then I was just an end segment.
Oh, yeah. Well, we didn't know what to do with you.
You still don't know what to do with me.
So anyway, all right, let's go to the kitchen, and I'll give some advice, and we'll make some pizza cupcakes.
Shall we talk or can't you see? This is where you wanna be.
All right, so now we're in the kitchen and we're gonna make some pizza cupcakes. If you're listening to this on a podcast app and not watching this on YouTube, either head over there or fear not, I'm gonna do my best possible job describing what I'm doing, but no. Okay, all right, so step one is get a pan that has the cupcake holder things. Okay, step one complete. Step two, get, hold on, I forgot what it's called. Let me go to the fridge. Doing a audio food show is not easy because one, I'm forgetting that I have to stay in front of the mic. All right. Okay, so here are the ingredients you need. You need this biscuit Pillsbury dough thingy. You need tomato sauce. I just got this one because it was the cheapest. Oh, but there's basil and garlic. That sounds good. And then you need pepperoni. No, I forgot to get cheese. Oh, no. I mean, I guess we can make pizza without cheese. Oh, no. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me see what we have in the cabinet because maybe we made okay. All right, we're gonna make two things, okay? We're gonna make pizza without cheese. And then I have this Hershey's cocoa, so maybe we make chocolate pizza. All right, let's begin. All right, step one is, also I'm going to be, I asked you guys to write in different things you need advice on. So while we're cooking, I will also be giving advice. So let's get up our first question. First advice comes from Jenny. Hey Robyn, I'm 41 and have been single for a long time. It's been 12 years. I haven't even had a third date in this time. Single. I was fine with it and happily chugging along until recently. I feel like I've missed out on a huge part of my life. And my walls are high because I see so many crappy dudes out there. Do I even know how to have a relationship? Can I even have those feelings? How can I put myself out there and stop beating myself up for not dating, for being so incredibly single and never married at 41? I'm not that bad, Charlie. Love, a Toronto kid. Okay, Jenny, I have so much to say on this. But first, if you're listening, I'm going to be opening the Pillsbury biscuits. Hold on. Wait, Jenny, don't go anywhere. I'm going to give you some really solid advice. Hold on. I'm trying to open this. All right, I'm trying to open. Oh wait, pop. Oh wait, I think I have to take off the. Okay, sorry. So I realize you have to take off the paper around the biscuit opening thing. Okay, so Jenny, you're only 41. It's okay that you've been single this time. I don't care if you're 91. Like, the point of being single is to be single because it's better than being in a relationship with someone you're not happy with. It's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with you. No, you're not that bad. And to everyone listening, single is great. The thing that bugs me, hold on, let me open this biscuit. The thing that bugs me, oh, there we go. The thing that bugs me is people think that single is what you should be while waiting to find a relationship. No. You want to be happy. That's the only goal. So if you're happy single, then you're doing it right. If you're happy in a relationship, you're doing it right. But the goal isn't to just find someone. The goal is to be happy. So if it's taking years for you to find your person, so then fine, you'll be happy while single. Now, I don't think everyone's meant for everyone. Oh, can you see? I don't think everyone's meant for everyone. Actually, I think quite the opposite. I think it's really hard to find your perfect person that is going to be better than being alone. And so don't be hard on yourself while you're single. While you're single, be happy. And then when you find someone that you like, you'll be happy. And it's the flip side of it. If you're in a relationship and you've been in a relationship for years and you're just not happy in the relationship, don't be scared to leave. Being single, there's so many wonderful parts of being single. Your only goal in life should be to be happy. I don't know if that was the advice you were looking for. I hope that helped, Jenny. All right, this comes from Tori. Hey, Robyn, I'm so excited for the pod. What to do when you don't get along with your fiance's family? These people have called me names to my face and not invited me to family functions on countless occasions. But my soon-to-be hubby can't cut the cord. Would you still get married or keep things Oprah and Stedman? All right, this is a toughie. All right, you want my honest opinion? This is not the relationship for you. You marry into a family unless your partner puts them in their place or cuts them out. And if they're putting you down and calling you names and your fiance is not sticking up for you, shutting it down or cutting them out completely, that's not your guy. You want someone, it doesn't matter whether it's a family or not, if someone's putting you down or making you not feel good about yourself, your partner should be the first one to stick up for you, should be the first one to shut it down. And if he's not doing that, that's not a good sign. Sorry. If you're just listening to this and not watching, I'm trying to open up the tomato sauce, but my hands are sticky from the Pillsbury boy thing, and I can't open this. Hold on, let me get a rag. Okay, so if he's not sticking up for you to his family, this is a problem. You need to tell him he needs to stick up for you. Or, I don't know, I just think, oh my God, I can't open this freaking tomato sauce. Easy. So if your partner's not sticking up for you, I really think there's a problem there. And there may be so many great qualities about this person, but if they're not, I don't know, this is not good. I don't know. Not good. Oh, wait, we're not going to do all of these pizza because we don't have cheese. Okay, so right now, if you're listening, I'm putting the tomato sauce in the Pillsbury Bellboy thing. I don't know what the thing is called. I'm so sad I forgot to get cheese. That is truly devastating. Okay, so I'm putting the sauce in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. And then the other 3, I'm going to put this Hershey's Cocoa. Oh, natural unsweetened. Wait, is that actually going to be gross? Hold on. Hershey's Cocoa. 100% cocoa, naturally unsweetened. Okay, I don't know if this is going to be gross. Let's continue making the pizza and then we'll put the chocolate in. All right. All right, the sauce is complete. From Natalie. I'm turning 40 and my husband is not a great gift giver. I don't want him to spend money on me, but at the same time, I wish he could pick something I like. I've even given a gift guide to give him an idea of what I like. He gets me exactly what's on the guide. Am I silly for wanting it to be more special? By the way, I happen to be really good at buying gifts and love doing it. Not sure I've ever really liked receiving gifts. Okay, this is becoming a therapy session. Help, please. Okay, we are putting the pepperoni in those little dips of sauce. We're going to open it, and then actually what we're going to do is we're going to rip the pepperoni. So right now, okay, I know if you're listening and not watching, so you know how pepperoni is like the size of a big quarter? I want you to rip that quarter into like thirds or fourths, and then throw it into your little pizza cupcake. Okay, so clearly, Natalie, your love language is gift giving. So no, you're not wrong for wanting something a little more special than just the list of things you want, because you can go buy those things. So you're totally justified. The problem is he's not good at giving gifts, and that's your love language. So I think there's 2 things that have to happen here. 1, I think you really need to communicate this to him. Like, I think you need to say to him, like, I love you. I know you're good at just like buying me the things I tell you I want, but to me it would mean so much if there was like a little more effort and a little more thought into it. And at least like communicate that. Now 2, I like 1,000 years ago read Fran Drescher's autobiography, and something she said in her autobiography that has stuck with me is know what people are good at and expect nothing more. Otherwise you will constantly be disappointed. Now I'm paraphrasing, but it's something like that. Meaning like if you know your husband is great at being loyal, great at being funny, great at cooking dinner, great at giving you hugs and kisses, great at making you feel good when you're down. If he can do all of those things, know that about him. Don't expect him to get you great gifts, because then you'll just constantly be disappointed. You're not wrong. It is your love language, which is why you're going to communicate it. But I think you need to get into your head, like, let me focus on all the great qualities he has, because that is just not one of his strengths. I don't want to say leave him because he may be an amazing guy. I'm not saying to leave him. I'm just saying. Okay, I think, let me put a little more sauce on top of the pepperonis. I am so bummed we forgot to get cheese. What a cooking show, huh? But let's be honest. This isn't a cooking show. Like, if you tune in next week, there won't be cooking. I mean, there may be cooking. I'm just saying don't always expect cooking, you know? Okay. I feel like this is not gonna, I don't know, this is a little bit of a disappointment. All right. From Christina. How to talk to my teenage daughter. She doesn't share any details about her life with me. Christina, saying this with so much love. That's a teenage daughter. You were a teenage daughter once, you know. I shared nothing with my parents. Like, that's part of being a teenager, sneaking around. And what you want to do is just make it a safe environment that she can talk to you. There had been a handful of times as a teenager in my early 20s when I was like in a sticky situation and I went to my parents. My parents always made it very, very, very clear to me and my brothers that if we ever needed their help, they would never punish us, that they would never yell at us, that if we were ever in trouble to go to them first. And the few times I was in sticky situations, they were the first people I went to. And now this is coming from someone who, like, you know, I had plenty of secrets. I was not the little goody two-shoe girl that you may think I was. It's okay that your teenager doesn't share anything with you. That's being a teenager. What you want is to make it so clear that when she does need to come to you, which is what matters, that you'll be there judgment-free. Okay, now, if you're listening and you're like, oh, what are we missing in the kitchen? Nothing, I haven't done anything. Okay, I'm getting some spoon. I don't know if this should be real chocolate, but I'm just using cocoa powder, and I'm putting it in the muffin, or whatever this is called, the Pillsbury Doughboy, or whatever it's called. I don't know. Does this thing have a name? I don't know. Okay, and I'm putting this. I feel like this one could be gross or great. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I don't know. Oh, no, we threw out the directions. Okay, so I threw out the directions on how long we're supposed to, we're supposed to preheat the oven. Hold on, you have to go in the trash. Going in the trash. All right. Okay, heat the oven to 350. Okay, I have to be honest, we moved in like 3 months ago, and I've never turned on this oven, so I don't know how to do it. Or 325 for non-sticky. Do we think this is non-sticky or sticky? I have no clue. Let's just do 350. Okay, stop. Oh, wait. 350. Hold on. I'm turning. Okay. All right. All right. You know what? I'm bringing you guys closer. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh gosh. Okay. Man down. All right. Hold on. How do you turn this on? Let me bring the mic closer. Okay. All right. I don't know how to turn this on. And Dr. Piano Man's not coming home for like 5 hours. Okay. Start? No. Cook? No. Bake? 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 Oh, okay, wait, we did it. Bake. 350. 350. Start. All right, honestly, all right, something's happening. Oh, wait, there's stuff in there. Should I take it out? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, no, man down. Oh, no, don't fall. Don't fall. Wait, I want this to stay. Stay. Hold on. Am I even in frame anymore? Okay, I don't know why this isn't staying. All right, I'm going to have to place the mic on the ground because security's not here right now. So I'm just going to put the mic. Hold on. Wait, look, do you guys see this isn't staying? Do you see? Do you see? Okay. All right. I don't know what to do. Stay. All right. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I need one of you to hold. I'm putting this up here. Oh, but then I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear me. Okay. All right. I'm not going to say anything of importance, but I have to take this stuff out of the oven. Where are my little mittens? Rawr. Okay. All right. What's in here? All right. I'm going to put this over here. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Man down. Okay. All right. So now, close this up. How do we know when this is on? I don't know. Hopefully it'll beep or something. Okay. All right. Let's put you back. I don't know. Okay. Is that good? All right. All right, I don't know how to get this to stand, but okay, if you're just, there we go. If you're just listening and not watching, I don't even know how to explain what we just went through as a group. Anyway, let's take another question. This comes in from someone who would like to stay anonymous. Hey Robyn, I'm with a new guy and I really like him, but over the last few years I've put on weight and I'm not feeling very confident. Any tips in feeling more confident in the bedroom? I'm embarrassed even writing this. Okay, let me just say this and I need you to hear me loud and clear. If someone wants to get naked with you, it's because they want to get naked with you, all right? If you're dating someone and you're both getting along and you're both wanting to have sex and everything's great, it's because he finds you hot or she finds you hot or they find you hot. It doesn't, like, you are the only one that's worried about your body because, and now I'm talking right now specifically in straight couples, man, woman, okay? Because that's my specialty, okay? But I have never, ever dated a guy, and when I took my clothes off, he went, ugh, cellulite. You know, or, ugh, look at that, rolls. If there are, you know, I don't know what I could say on YouTube, but if there are the top parts and the bottom parts being shown, that's what they're usually focused on, okay? Actually, I need to be honest, I don't think men do much thinking in the bedroom at all. Like, I think they are just like one-minded of like what is happening and enjoying it. They could not care. And then here's another thing I have to tell you. If you are more of a curvier woman, speaking firsthand experience, the guys that I tend to be with like curves and like curvier women. So just know your body type is probably what he's attracted to. So do not be embarrassed about anything. If anything, you should find yourself sexy. Sexiness is about your inner like, what you put off. It has nothing to do with size. It has nothing to do with looks. It has nothing to do with, you know, whether you're tall, short, hairy, bald, like weight, nothing. It doesn't. It doesn't. It has to do whether how you present yourself and what the other person is attracted to. So when you take off your clothes, feel that you are the sexiest person because you are the sexiest person. And if someone doesn't find you sexy, they're not the person you should be with. Like 100%. I have no, oh wait, it's up to 270. All right, the magic of editing. Ding! Okay, it is now at 3:50. So let's get our little kitten mittens and put it in. Okay, oh, if you're just listening, it's now at 3:50 preheated, and I'm now putting our pizza muffins and our chocolate muffins into the oven. Okay. Oh, it's hot. Like the oven's hot, just so everyone knows. Okay. All right. So now, let's see. Bake for 14 to 17 minutes. I feel like 14 to 17 is like such a big difference. Is it 14 or is it 17? Let's do 15 and a half.
A few minutes later.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I never looked at the clock. I have no clue how long that's been in for. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. All right. Well, I'll just keep checking. Oh, someone's calling. Let's see who this is. Hello?
May I speak with Robyn Schall?
Yeah, this is Robyn.
Hi, my name is Jan. I'm calling from State Collection Service on a recorded and monitored line. I'm a debt collector. This is an attempt to collect a debt. Any information obtained will be used for that purpose. There's a balance here with Mount Sinai West for $286.68. How would you like to resolve that, with credit, debit, or checking?
Maybe you could, can you call back? I'm at work right now.
Sure, or you can call us back. We're here till 8 tonight if you want to call back at any time.
Oh.
At Central Time?
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, thanks so much.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, see, I thought that was a spam call, but it was actually a debt collector. I was like, oh, this is going to be so funny. This is a spam call. I'm going to really get them. And then there's Mount Sinai, because you remember last year I had the Robyn Bobbin disease? I owe them money. That was an actual debt collector. I thought that was going to be a funny prank, and then I was like, oh shit, I got to pay my bill. Okay, well, we don't know if everything's gone awry. I don't know if this is God. And I don't know how long these have been in for. Does anyone know? Does anyone know how long my cheeseless pizza cupcakes have been in for, and my unsweetened chocolate cupcakes of Pillsbury Door Boy have been in for? And can someone, when I air this episode, remind me to pay my Mount Sinai bill to the debt collectors? Oh man, I really thought that was a spam call because there was like no number, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be funny. Nope, joke's on me.
A few minutes later.
I think it's time to take it out. I think it's time to call it a day. Oh yeah, these are. Oh my god, it's so hot. It's definitely like the Can you see? So like, well, if you're listening, you can't see. But okay, so. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. I thought mittens were supposed to stop it from being hot. Okay, wait, hold on. I'm turning off the oven. I'm turning off the oven. I'm turning off the oven. If it's 2 a.m., I turned off the oven. Okay, so what I am noticing here, this does look done, but the cocoa powder didn't melt. So apparently, I guess cocoa powder doesn't melt. I'm gonna break the fourth wall and ask Insta stories. Maybe they know because this is not gonna be posted till next week. So please hold, everyone. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I'm looking at my DMs, guys. It says, all right. So who is this? This is Kathleen. Kathleen writes, no, cocoa powder does not melt. It has to be mixed in with liquid. Eddie writes, oh my god, does not melt. Mix with butter. Okay, I cannot even believe. All right, so let's taste the pizza one. That doesn't have cheese. Okay. Oh, it's hot. All right, here we go. Taste test. I'll try not to chew into the mic. Wait, this tastes so good. Oh my gosh, I fainted. I fainted. Man down, Robyn fainted. Wait, the pizza one's so good. Oh my god, if there was cheese, this would be the best pizza cupcake of all time. Oh my god, it's even cooked on the inside. I'm gonna rate the pizza cupcake an 8 out of 10. It would be 10 out of 10 if there was cheese. Okay. All right, I don't know what we're supposed to do about the chocolate. Should we just taste it without... Hold on, let's tap out the powder. And let's just taste... Oh my god, Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's terrible. Oh my god. Wait. We have no drinks. Hold on. Where's my water? Oh my god. That is the worst thing I've ever eaten. Oh my god. Don't do it. Don't do it. Oh my god. That was so gross. That was so bad. Don't eat unsweetened cocoa powder in your cupcake. Okay. I must eat a pizza to save my mouth. Okay, man shade. I give the cocoa a 0. Do not do the cocoa. That's a 0 out of 10. Do not eat the cocoa. Okay. All right. I think this was very, very productive. If you get a chance, please make the pizza cupcakes. If you dislike someone, I would highly recommend the cocoa chocolate cupcakes. Okay, so I told you guys to write in some disaster date stories that you've been on, and the overwhelming amount of messages we got with bad date stories, I mean, it's sad and alarming, but some of them are so funny. Okay, here we go. All right, so this first one comes in from Cassie. It was my fourth date with this guy. We had plans to go to the movies. The night before, I remember he said his favorite dessert was chocolate chip cookies. So after I got home from work, I went to the store to buy the ingredients to make homemade chocolate chip cookies. This is a big effort for me because once I come home from work, it feels exhausting to leave my house again. Anyway, the cookies turned out great, and I'm so excited to surprise him. I put a few in a little baggie and stuffed them in my purse. Once we were seated in the theater, I pulled them out and told them that I made him homemade chocolate chip cookies. He proceeded to lecture me about how I shouldn't sneak things into the theater and how it's people like me that are putting the movies out of business. He was not joking. He went on and was so upset that people started looking at us. I wanted to die. And my feelings were so hurt. I sat through the movie, which was one he wanted to see, and I knew I wouldn't like it. And as we were walking out, he brought it up again, and I got another lecture. But then he said this punchline. Well, I guess you work in education, so you must have to do things like that since you are poor. I was stunned and too shocked to even defend myself. Wish I would have just had the guts to have left before the movie even started. Worst date ever. Oh my goodness. Okay, there is a lot to unpack here. First, let me just say, the fact that he called you poor, guys, I'm never lost for words, but there's so many layers here. I can't even. First off, you're in education, which you are a freaking superhero. I say this as someone who has multiple family members as teachers and multiple friends as teachers, multiple family and friends who actually had to leave the education world because of how hard it is on your mental health and physical health. Like, teaching is one of the hardest jobs there is, and it's so underpaid and underappreciated. So let me just say to all my teachers that are listening, I love you, I appreciate you, I see you. Okay, anyway, what were we talking about? All right, let's now talk about bringing snacks into the movie theater. Going to the movies, I remember when I was a kid, movie theater ticket was like $6. Now it's like $27. So if you bring in a cookie, it's compensated in that $27. I feel like the movie theater people are going to come after me. But I think it's okay if you bring a cookie into the movie theater. Also, you weren't bringing in food. You were bringing him a gift. This is why this guy is such a dickhead. Sorry, excuse my language. But like, the cookie wasn't about being cheap and about not wanting to pay. The cookie was a gesture of doing something nice and like giving someone a gift. And he was too freaking dense. Anyway, I say this was a bad date. But you know what? You had a good story, and now you appear on the first episode of Schall We Talk. So thank you, Cassie, so much for sharing your bad date story with us. Kaylee writes in, where to start? So this guy picks me up, and we're going to a restaurant. On the way there, I realize he's lost. This was before GPS was on phones. I'm like, okay, it's fine. We'll figure it out. So we're driving, and he's been very adamant that I get the CDs from under my seat. And I keep saying, it's fine, we could just talk. So after the 10th time of him saying something, I go to grab the CDs. However, there are no CDs. He's put his trophies under the seat. As I pull them out, he's like, oh, how did those get there? So we know how they got there, Chad. Anyway, he starts saying about how good he is and how athletic, etc., etc. And I'm like, wow, good for you. And then I read the trophies. They're for bowling. So now I'm holding these bowling trophies because I can't get them back under the seat. And the date didn't end there. So now we're still driving. He put in a CD that was on his side of the driver's seat. And we're listening to the song. We're still lost, by the way. After a couple songs, he yells, ooh, I love this song. He pulls over the car. he opens the glove box and whips out a harmonica and starts playing to the song. It is not good at all. Think middle schooler trying to learn. The song ends and he puts it back in the glove box and just continues to drive like nothing happens. We are still lost. It's been over 2 hours and the restaurant was like 20 minutes from our starting location. I'm intrigued to find out what's next, but also a little terrified. I kind of asked to just go to this pizza joint we see, and I have a friend come and get me. Chad messaged me for a solid month after saying how good our date was and when could we see each other again. I still, to this day, don't think he ever intended to go to a restaurant, but just to drive around and show me his quote-unquote talents. Now, here's the thing. I pride myself on having some of the worst dates that's ever been. Let me tell you, I have never had a guy whip out a harmonica unless we're using harmonica. Hold on, I'm just going back to make sure harmonica's not meaning something else. Hold on. He whipped out his harmonica. Okay, and started playing the song. Okay, I'm just double checking that harmonica's not like a euphemism. What's the word?
Did you say euphemism?
A euphemism? What's the word?
A euphemism.
A euphemism.
A euphemism.
A euphemism.
No R.
Euphemism.
No R. A euphemism.
A euphemism.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, I trust me. When you got that point, I was like.
Yeah, like if she said started like playing. Wait, that is what she said.
She playing to the music.
And so playing to the song.
She would have. If I was, I would have jumped out of the car. If it was that.
I would have said, "Do you mind if I record this for Schall We Talk?" I got a fan base that would really love this. Oh my God, that's a bad date. I once went on this date. As he's sitting there, he pulls out his paycheck from his pocket. He goes, "Oh, it's my paycheck. Wow, I make a lot of money." I'm like, what the hell is happening? I thought that was bad. You know what he didn't do? He did not whip out a harmonica and bowling trophies. Okay, if you have a bad date story or you need advice, head over to schallwetalk.com. There's a section for you to fill out. And if you are listening on a podcast app and you wanted to go and see the cooking segment, head over to YouTube, Robyn Schall Comic, and that is where you'll be able to watch this. We just did our first episode of Schall We Talk. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you for being here. Tune in to next week because you have no clue what's going to happen. And neither do I.
Pull you through. Shall we talk? Oh, can't you see? This is where you wanna be.